China's big plans for Airbus A380 just shocked the entire aviation industry. Here's why. The complexity of new purchases is increasing as the A380's sales become more challenging. A380 sales are evolving into a fusion, as opposed to the conventional approach of ordering aircraft based on a defined commercial recipe or incorporating politics. All Nippon Airways acquired A380s from Airbus in exchange for support for ANA's partnership with Skymark, an insolvent A380 customer. The commitment to maintain the A380 line's operational status was the determining factor in the unsuccessful attempt to sell the A350 to Emirates. Airbus now intends to transfer the A380 to China, in exchange for granting China a greater degree of industrial involvement in the A380, according to press reports. China has already established A320 final assembly lines and A330 and shortly 737 completion centers. Therefore, it is uncertain what additional insights China will acquire, unless China is on the verge of becoming a country similar to Japan, which constructs an astonishing 1/5 of a 777, or the United States and France, which construct wide-bodies. China Southern is the only Chinese A380 operator. Foreign airlines operate the A380 in China, provided that local regulators permit, but China Southern operates only 5 of the aircraft. The average age of China Southern's A380s is 6.2 years, which is approximately average for the global fleet type. China Southern has consistently encountered difficulty in identifying routes that are appropriate for the type in terms of both yield and load factor. China Southern's fleet of 5 A380s is borderline subscale. All other commercial operators intend to operate a fleet of at least 6 aircraft, except all Nippon Airways, which is acquiring only 3 A380s exclusively for Hawaii as part of a complex agreement in which Airbus supported ANA's partnership with its bankrupt local competitor Skymark Airlines. Chinese airlines need help with yield, not volume. The A380's exceptional capacity is the ideal solution to the market's extant congestion and growth. This is the straightforward narrative surrounding the A380 and China. It is accurate that congestion is a significant infrastructure issue. However, any Chinese A380 order would be incremental in the vast market and would not result in a significant number of slots being freed up. Therefore, the A380 is not the panacea that will resolve the infrastructure issue from the airline's perspective. On a global scale, airlines have encountered difficulty in ensuring that an A380 flight is fully occupied at a satisfactory yield. Numerous statistics are available regarding the volume of passengers traveling between origin and destination on high-yield routes. However, the figures do not indicate the number of passengers who desire to travel at a specific time on a low-frequency schedule. For instance, British Airways does not operate its A380 on the London Heathrow-New York JFK route, which is regarded as the most exclusive market in the world. In this instance, frequency emerges as the victor, both independently and in conjunction with its joint venture partner, American Airlines. Cathay Pacific cites the value of frequency in value markets as a reason not to operate the A380. Chinese airlines have been exerting considerable effort to achieve satisfactory yields on international services. Their enhancements have been hindered by the pressure of accelerated growth, which has reduced yields. However, the Chinese market is fundamentally defined by high volume and low yield, even though there is much that Chinese airlines can enhance within their control, including product, service, distribution, and e-commerce. Aircraft are, of course, long-term investments. A significant premium market will be established in the future as a result of the increasing sophistication and size of the Chinese market. However, the A380 or even an A380 and Neo will be outdated by that time, The A380 design is already approaching 20 years of age. New narrow bodies are able to offer seat unit costs that are comparable to those of wide bodies as a consequence of fleet innovations. China's preference is wide bodies for domestic flights. It is a fact that the Chinese government has been attempting to address the infrastructure challenge by promoting the use of wide bodies on domestic arterial routes. In certain cases, encourage is an offer that cannot be declined. For example, there are instances in which domestic routes have been exclusively allocated to airlines that intend to operate with wide bodies. The A330 is the dominant aircraft for domestic wide-body flights. Numerous A330s are configured specifically for domestic operations. Other wide bodies are employed, but only for positioning purposes or in between international sectors. The A380 is not the primary focus of inquiries regarding the future of domestic flights in China, as it is not anticipated that it will be exclusively utilized for domestic services. The 787 and A350 are already considered too weighty for regular domestic service. Sales prospects for the A330neo, or Boeing's potential new aircraft 797, are the subject of the inquiry. In theory, the utilization of the A380 or other wide-body aircraft on high-frequency domestic routes would either facilitate the consolidation of existing slots or reduce the consumption of new slots. However, the A380's intended long-haul international missions would only make a limited contribution to the resolution of berth challenges. The A380 may be argued to pose an additional risk of congestion issues due to the significant number of passengers affected in the event of a service delay. State-owned airlines most likely to order A380s. Numerous airlines that do not operate the A380 on a global scale unquestionably have routes where the A380 would be profitable. The challenge is to identify an adequate number of these services collectively, as well as those that yield satisfactory profitability on an individual basis throughout the year and at each frequency. The evidence suggests that the majority of airlines are unable to operate an A380 fleet, regardless of its size. However, the issue remains. What additional value is produced by a larger A380 fleet in China, given that airlines are a minor component of the value chain? If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe for more updates, and drop a comment with your thoughts below. We'd love to hear from you.